I am Ertuğrul Sahin. I am a mobile developer. I did the bachelor's degree in computer engineering. I work also in Turkey, Flutter and web development, Flutter and web developer. And these are my projects, and they are published in the store. And now I split my section 3 part. And first one is how can I develop my own application, and second one is getting started with Flutter, and third one starting Fluttering and starting Flutter Flow. Actually, my goal is today I won't give you fish. I will show you how to catch the fish. How can I develop my own application? I'm beginner programmers. I actually worked in Turkey and studied university, also college. And I analyzed the all people. Is the 3 steps. And one step has no knowledge before. And second step, learning finished, but they can't write code. And third step they can learn and write code, but they don't do the project. And what can we do here? The second step actually very important step. A very important step, because you are thinking about learning the code, but when you try to practice and you can't do anything, and that's mean actually you learn and you didn't learn very well. And so most of people just fail the second step and they can't pass the third step. If you has no knowledge before the programming, and don't worry about it, because everyone starting the beginner. And just I want to say about the believe yourself. If you believe yourself and you will be a good developer, how can I start the learning Flutter or any programming language? And watch the training videos first and write the code at the same time. And that is so important thing. If you don't write the code, just watch the video, and also you can't learn anything. And try the new feature. And for example, if you learn about how can I write the A and B, and try the add C and D. Yeah, for example, it is just simple explain. And if you can't add the new feature, and don't worry about it, just keep going. And what is the Flutter? And Flutter is open source mobile application development framework and created by Google. Also, Flutter you can create the application mobile, web. I visited desktop. Now they are working on the desktop. It will be stable. I think 1 or 2 years. And when we are developing the Flutter application, yeah, we have to use the Dart language. And Dart is object-oriented open source programming language, and contains the many useful features. And Dart is platform independent, extensive libraries, and easy to learn. And Flutter uses its own rendering engineering code, and feature engine render the UI components and the widgets. Why should I use the Flutter? If you write just one code and you can build your application Android, iOS, and also web, and just one code, it is working the 3 platform, and also close the native performance. And Flutter completed the code, giving you the best on the both iOS and Android. Hot reloaded, and when you develop your application, and can see at the same time the mobile application in the simulator or emulator, either for or startup MVPs, because startup company generally don't want to and too much employees, and Flutter is best option for us, because if you work with one Flutter developer, and the developer can give you the Android, iOS, and also web. And Flutter is beautiful UI, and you can control every pixel of the screen, and you can make the design very easy. It is very easy because I first started the Android development, and I write the XML code. I always write the same thing, and when I paste the Flutter, I am writing the code with widgets, and I can create all my widgets also. Showcases, and most of company is support the Flutter, and these are just 3 examples: BNB, eBay, and Nubank. And Flutter also provides the with execute animation, and such as fed transition, start transition, and slide transition. And the animation is the Flutter, and you can integrate, and you don't need to integrate any third-party libraries because it is inside the Flutter. I will show you a few slides later, and which Flutter animations and we can use it, and without editing third libraries. Everything is widget, and you build the widget upon the widget, and you can create the customize your own widget. And for example, if you look the gift, and we can see the first is starting here, and then the application login screen, catalog, my catalog, and my card. Under the my catalog, my egg bar, and my list items. And these are we are connected widget tree, and you can create your widgets with tree because first it is running the first my app, and then user, and then login screen, and then catalog, and then card. I want to show you the page with the widgets, and these are the widget catalogs, animation and notation, assets, images, and icons, asynchron, basic, and Cartoon iOS style widget, and when I started the Flutter, that is very interesting to me because you can use our iOS widget. Input, layout, material components, scrolling, styling, text. If you are looking the basic catalogs, it is the app bar. I think everyone knows that's it. And when you open the screen, app bar is the top. App bar is the top level of the screen. If you are look, just go a little bit. A bar is here, a bar demo. And it is titled the new page. I guess this is not wrong. Oh, okay, that is it. And when we are creating the UI, firstly, we are using the state trace or stateful widget. State trace widget, and you can change the behavior, but you can see the end emulator. If you use the stateful widget, and you can see the changes. Just after this output, and we are wrapping the all pages with scaffold, and app bar is here. App bar just they give the name app bar demo, and that is the icon. Icon is here also. If we are click the icon, it is navigate to second screen. Oh, sorry, it's automatically pop up. And column also very important widget because when you create the UI, it is actually two important widget, column and row. If you add the inside the column the widget, and you can see the top to down, it is going to top to down. And also if you add the widget, and you can see the left to right. Now we can turn back the slides. Packages and Flutter packages, and you can use the packages in Flutter, and that is the their website, and contributed by developers to Flutter. These are all the quickly building an application and without having to develop anything from scratch. We have looked the website, and these are the Flutter favorite Flutter favorite packages. And Firebase messaging, we are using the generally for backend services, and when we are sent the notification, and we can use the Firebase messaging services. And we can see the most popular widget and most popular vulnerabilities here.
Inside the Zoom chat, there's a link. So if you're inside the classroom, I need you to join Zoom so that you can see the chat. If you're in Zoom, obviously you can see the chat, so open the chat. And you'll see the same screen that I have. So I need you to make your way over to this website right now. Now if you're on a Mac, put your hand up if you're in the classroom. Okay, so you might need special instructions if you can't get it to go on your own. If you're on Windows, it'll probably be slightly easier, so say our experts. Now, to do this, you need to install Visual Studio Code. One of the first steps on this set of instructions is to set up your environment. It's to install Visual Studio Code. So if I can get someone to click on set up your environment. Actually, no, here, let's look at what the app does. So just scroll down a little bit. So right here, basically what you're doing is you're going to build an app that works on the web. It's going to work in mobile, desktop, all that good stuff. And you're going to learn how Flutter works. You're going to make a layout in Flutter. You're going to connect user interactions. So basically you're going to make a button. And you're going to have the app do something when you actually click that button. Then you're going to organize your code and all that good stuff. Now on the next button on the left, you can see set up your environment. The way this is set up is that in 9 steps, you'll build an app in a platform, in a programming language that many of you have probably never used before. Some of you maybe have, some of you haven't. So 9 steps, you'll be able to have an app going. The first step is download Visual Studio Code. If you have it already from one of your other classes, fantastic. Take a break. If you don't, click that blue button, download it. Okay? So we're going to put maybe a 5-minute timer up on the screen. I'd like everyone to download Visual Studio Code, get it installed, and then we'll continue.
So we'll start with creating our first app. Are you on the Google Code Labs right now? The link is given on the Zoom. So first thing is you need to download Visual Studio Code. If you click on the Setup Your Flutter Environment, the second tab, it will direct to the link. I have already set up mine. If anyone has difficulty setting it up, my friend over there can help. Please raise your hand if you have difficulties. Okay, so the next step is you have to set up the SDKs. For that, if you just scroll down, there's an install Flutter. You click on it, choose the platform. For me, it's Linux, but I have already set it up, so you can choose yours accordingly. For Windows, if you click on it, I think it will give you a downloadable zip file. How many are using Windows? Linux? Is anyone using Linux? Okay.
Yes, I'm using Linux.
Where are you?
Online.
Oh, online. Okay. So basically for Linux, it's the same thing. You just download it and extract it in a folder. Just copy a bin directory, and I'll show you where to put it.
The thing is that I try to install it from the snap, from the command.
Okay, so you have installed it using snaps?
Yes, I tried, but when I tried the Flutter Doctor, but it's saying that there is no installation. So I think I should restart the system, right? Should be.
No, you don't need to restart it, but is Flutter command is being recognized?
Yes, I think it did. It's showing something in my command prompt, you know.
Yeah, just open your terminal and try to run Flutter.
Sure, I will do that. And what if I have an Android Studio? Does it work as well?
Yeah, I guess it will set it up for you automatically.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so for Windows, you can download it and then go to your system variables. And I don't have system to show you, but I'm sure you guys are able to set the environment path variables. If anyone has any difficulty, please tell me. So if you have installed it successfully, if you run the Flutter command in terminal, it should show you like this. Once you're done, we can move on to the next steps of creating a new project. So open your VS Code. Yeah. Anyone has problem doing that? Configuring Flutter? Okay, so open your VS Code. And just it says here, you can press F1 or Control Shift P or Control Command P. I'll press F1 and you can create a new project there. Then it might ask you to select the directory. You can choose anyone. Everyone's following the steps? You can raise a hand if you have a problem doing that. All right. So in Flutter, the main file where you can put your dependencies is pubspec.yml. So if you see right now, the dependency is SDK Flutter. And dev dependencies is like when you're developing stuff, you will only use it when you're developing. It won't go in production mode. If you're using for production, this won't count in. Now I'll show you how to run it. For me, I have already set up the emulator. For this, you might need to install Android Studio Code and then in Tools, Device Manager, and then you can create new one here. Create new device. I already created 2. So if you see in VS Code, if you have already configured emulator, it will show how many devices are connected. For me, it's the Pixel 2, which is this one. You might need to configure a new one. You can also, if you have set up your SDKs properly, it might show that create Android emulator, and you can create new one from here too. Yeah. So I'll select Pixel 2, it's already selected. And then you can do F5 or just go on run and start debugging. We're gonna build the application now. Okay, so this is our Flutter demo homepage that we just created. To run it, you can just go on run and start debugging, or you can run it without debugging too. Other way to run it is you can do Flutter devices and get a device. For me, it's gonna be this one. You copy this ID and then Flutter run D for device, and you can paste it there and you can run it there too. We might do it later for the advanced application. So for Flutter, the screen you're seeing, the main file is the main.dart that's under lib. And right now we have only built it for Android. So if you want to customize for only for Android, then you can make changes here. Same way you can, if you want to make customize something for iOS, you can change your code here. We can also export for macOS and Linux, and also for Windows and web too. So if you see our main file, the title is Flutter demo. It should be here. And then we are rendering the home page. So in Flutter, everything is widget. The My Home page is a stateful widget. If you change the title here, it should reflect back here. So for example, and Flutter supports hot reload. So if you change something, it will automatically gets reflected here. So if you see the title change, what we made changes are being reflected here. For this app, I guess it's when we click on it, it will increase the button. So how they have done that is here. This is the floating action button, which resembles this one. And on pressed is the method defined in this one. And it just increases the counter. Initially it's 0. So whenever we press that, it's gonna come here, increase the counter. So next step is we're gonna add a button to it. So as you can see, you have to just do nothing but copy the code from here in the main Dart. So that's a center body, and then we have children text. I think we can also remove all this. We can just copy the elevated button and put it here. So that's a button. Right now it doesn't do anything. It might print button pressed in the terminal, or maybe here in debug. If you see, it will say button pressed. I think they have removed everything and just returning this. So for that, we can also
Now we will add the button. Just we are copy that code and we are pasting and we are pasting the here app state and there is no variable about the app state. I think that is the error. Just we will remove it. And now we added the one button and the print function, it is button preset. Now I will run the iOS simulator. When we are waiting the buoyant,
Oh, okay, it is done, but it's not covered. Just we will cut here and save area and paste it. Now if I do the Control Shift, now we are at the button. If I click the button, the print function, it will work, and button press it. Also there is the other function on long press it. If you are, I did the Control C, and if I click the long, it is showing as the button long pressed. For example, we can give this style also. Evaluate button stores style from. We can change the background color. It was before blue. Now I will change the red. We got the error. Color start rate, sorry. Now we are changing the also background background color, and we can give the every style from the here foreground background color, and also text style. Just or just if you long place the control and come to here, and you can see the inside all variables you can give it. And for example, a foreground, it is the type of color, and and evaluation, it is the double, and text style, it is the text style tab. Also we can change it the also we can change the text style or foreground color. Now if we are to make the our case, I think we have to add provider packages. I think we can paste this step because we have to add some packages and it will take a lot of time. Just I wanna look. Okay, so if I follow the that way, and we have to import the packages. But I want to show you before that. Not import the packages, and without packages. And without packages, what can we see the Flutter? So and so what can we do here now? Actually we can use the other type of widgets. I will just and Flutter also has this type widget, and this type widget actually I like too much because when I because the other languages unread. I always try to so many times for the style. Now I will give you just example. Match from network. I will explain all of things. Just firstly, I will write the code, and then I will explain. Just I copied link address, any images, it can be any image. Just paste the source here. I think the error is the just copy the image address. Now I guess we can do. Yes. This type widget, it is giving the it is giving us the so much properties, but the important thing, it is leading, and leading it is the left side of the or left side of the tile, and then title, and then subtitle, and trailing. Also, we can increase the just maybe we can change the size or 20, 30. 40. Yeah, it should be looking good. Now also what we can do, we can add also text field. Text field, we have to add controller. Just I am adding controller here. Yes, it should be fine. Now we added also the text field. We can write here anything. For example, what can we do now? If you are press the button, it is writing the control. It is giving us the input value. I just reloaded again. Not reloaded. Something is English. Yeah, I forgot that. Now, if I open the down, for example, I am writing my name and surname. If I click the next button, I can access the inside the text field. So also we can give that text Now it is writing anything because we didn't write. I am writing again. Oh, okay. Actually, it is printing, but it didn't change because the reason state because we are seeing the state management comments. Actually, just I wanna try one solution. I'm giving the default value. It is just comma. Just I want to see if I write my name and click the next button, it is show with the text. It is show with the text here my name, but we didn't. The reason is state management. I think this is stateless or stateful widget. So what can we do? We can cut the I just cut the code and writing the set state, paste the inside and control C. Now we can try again. This is writing my name. Something is interesting. Value. Just I will try the default value. It's working or not. I have to make sure about X variable is working. Yes, it's working. So, but we can change the value. Okay, anyways. Now which widget has we use it? Now which widgets we use it? Button, list type, text field, and text. Also the column widget, it has main axis alignment, and space within. If I write space within the column widget, it is the first widget, it is button, and second widget it is list time, and third widget it is text field, and fourth widget it is the text. It is always the space. It is the same space every widget. It is split. So if I write the center, it is just all the widget or center of the screen. We can change also and but now we can do it the center. What can be used the other widgets, important widgets? Actually, we can look the catalog, and we can use the widgets. Image, we use the image also. It is raw widgets. Raw widgets also the important. If I cut two widgets and create a raw widget at the children, above the children, every widget it's every widget is the same under the row, and the widget is it is left to right, and I can write the I guess the cross-axis element. No, sorry, main axis element. Space between. It is just between the two widgets. Actually, I added also container. Why did I add the container and give the width to 100? Because if I didn't add the container, it is the edit. It is the text field. It is covered the or screen or width, and there is no enough space for text, and that is why we give the width, because we said text width you can do or text width you can show us just 200 pixels. Now the
Okay, guys, so here's a application that's already built in Flutter. I'm sure that you guys have used WhatsApp, and it's similar to WhatsApp, but built in Flutter. So if you see the screen here, this is the landing page. Let me go through it. So this is the main file. This is the name, my chat UI. And if you see, when it starts, it comes here. Then it's checking whether the token is empty or not. Because we are setting the user, I'm not gonna show you the register part, but I will log in and show you. Let me just rerun it again. So if the user token is not empty, then it will go to the sign-in screen. Otherwise, it will go to the mobile screen. So if I open sign-in screen for you, so this is the method of sign-in we have defined in auth service class that we have created outside. So if you see the folder services, there's auth service.dart and data service.dart. Okay. So we're gonna okay, let me first run it so you better understand. Okay, it's this one. So we are temporarily storing the password in temp pass variable. Here we are doing basic validation. So basically for now, I have set the length to 11 or 6. I have 2 passwords and 2 users. I'll show you later. So once it this text form changes, and if the value is the length is 11 or 6, and if it passes the validation here, it will call the sign-in method here, which will go to the auth service class, which is defined in services auth service.dart. So we have methods like sign-in and get user messages. And it requires a password and context. So if I show you, if I type my password, it's EL for Elon Musk. It will throw an error that server, because server is not running, and I'll run the server here first. So this is, I have done SSH on my Ubuntu cloud. Now that server is running, if I just rerun the app, all right. So if I now type my password, it will let us in, and we right now have only one user, that's TS Taylor Swift. So what happens is, if we go in our sign-in screen and a method sign-in, that's an auth service. Once we have successful response, if you see your server, when we go to sign in, it will return token for that user. That would be in auth routes. So this is a server written in Node.js, and I'm using Express for the server, Express framework. So this is the sign-in method, and it returns if it matches user, it will return the token. And then we are setting the provider with the user. We're setting the user. We're not going to talk about provider right now, but basically it provides the information. So we are setting the user here. If you see, we have created a object for user, and then we are setting it. So if you see in the main.dart file, it checks that if the token is empty or not. Once we sign in, the token won't be empty, so it will go to home screen, and then it will render this thing. So this is the title. Now, for debugging purposes, I've added this connect SSE method. That's a server-side events in Node.js to get the real-time messages. So if I click on this icon, that's search icon, it might start SSE events. But I'm not gonna show you it right now. We might do coding of this app in future, but not now. Here we have 3 tabs. You can create tabs like this. Now the body is another widget. We are using contact list. It's defined. It's here. So first thing it does when it initialize, it's gonna call the get method, where we are using DS. DS is for data service. It's defined here under the services. So we have defined get conversations, get messages for CID. CID is for particular ID. Send conversation ID messages. That means whenever we create a new conversation, I'll show you I haven't shown the floating action button. So whenever you click on it, it will show us the available users. So how it's doing that is, it's gonna go to a select user screen. Whenever we click on that, it will again use DS, that's a data service, and get users, that's the method defined there. So it will call the server and will get the available users. If you see, it might be here. So it has called API available users, and then it's returning all available users. Here I'm just printing 3. If you I'm printing it here, that's why it's printing Elon Musk, but I'm not returning that. I'm checking here that if the current user is the same, then I'm not pushing it to the object. So it will only return admin and Taylor Swift. Now this is my first emulator, and that's the second one. I'll run the application here too. So to do that, I can first check its ID. And then there are two ways to it. One is already running, so we'll run the second one like this. Flutter run D for device. And it will start it in this emulator. All right, so for this one, we're gonna log in with TS account. Okay. So I have shown you this is the home screen. Contact list is gonna just grab all the users and will display it here. But when we click on it, so here we have defined on-click method. So it's just like we're gonna go to all chats and find the key for that user, and it will go to mobile chat screen. So if I click on Elon Musk, it will basically show this. It will execute this screen, and first it will so these are for live messages, but to get the conversation, it's the get messages for CID. And there we are getting specific messages for particular user. So this is the ID for user. And it's gonna call API get messages for CID, and it will it's gonna request node server for that. So I have already clicked on that, so it might be here. So API get messages for CID. And it will call this post method, and it will return the messages if there are any. Now, right now, if I type anything, hey, and if I send it, it will reflect here, but it won't get reflected in the other one. Right now it might, because I just clicked on it, so it will refresh. But if I send another message, it won't get reflected here because it needs to. It doesn't automatically refresh it. That's why we are using the SSE events. So for that, if you see data service.dart class, we have two methods: connect SSE and disconnect SSE. For this, I'm using a package. It's called SSE provider something. It's not So if you see in a home screen, when I click on the search icon, it will call connect SSE method. So I will do it right now, and you just, if you see here, it will say that SSE is connected. So we, so here it says SSE connect, and we have subscribed to the SSE event. So for that, it will come here, and it will also say that user this is connected, and now total users are now 1. This is all the users. These are the users who are connected to SSE events. If they are not connected to SSE event, they won't receive the real-time messages. So right now, this one is connected. Let me connect the other one too. So then it will say this user is also connected. And now, if you see in our Flutter project, we will receive event and with their IDs in a regular interval in both applications. So it's right now it's empty because we are not firing any events. But if I message, if I type a message here, now it will also say it's online, because once I go to this screen, someone's screen, then it checks for whenever it gets SSE event. Let me show you. So we have defined is on event and notify new messages event, and we have defined it that so once we get any user from SSE event, we are storing them in global sessions, and whenever we send a new message, what we do is we get the session and we are pushing the new event called a notify new message on the server side. So if I type here a new message, so this will this is the ID that notify new message, and this is the event, and I'm also printing the whole thing here. So that is how it notifies that there's a new message. So if you see, if I have to do it again. So if I now say by, it will in real time will be delivered here. Also, this guy can also do that. It's here. And you can also see that it also shows that the person is online or offline. And if you disconnect, we have an option to disconnect from SSE events. In home screen, if we press this this button temporary to debug things, I have made it like this. But when we release the app, it might be like automatically connected to SSE, and we don't need to disconnect. There will be a background server which will be running in background. So if I disconnect TS from the SSE by pressing just that, it won't show it here that online or offline. Once again, if I just connect, it will say it's online. If I disconnect, it won't say it's online or offline. Now for this, this is the server running in Node.js, but for the database, I'm using MongoDB. So this is the database is being used for this application. If you see, we have 3 users: admin, Taylor, and Elon. And if you see in our app, so it will filter out the TS because she's currently logged in. So these are the 3 users. We can also add manually the functionality I haven't added yet. Also, we can also register new users, but I have disabled that for this particular use case. Now, how we are storing messages is so whenever there's a new message, I'm storing it like half is the ID of one user and the other half is the ID of another user, and they are sorted. So I just need to get this, do it half, and I will get 2 users from this. This will contain all the messages they have with time. So this message list, the ID for this is the conversation ID, and for users, I will just save the conversation IDs in array for each user. So whenever we log in, it comes here, it grabs the conversation IDs, and then it lists on the home page here. So for Elon, if you see for Elon, we only have 1 conversation ID. That's why it's only showing 1. But if we talk to admin, for example, and we type something, then and if I just refresh this, now if you see, oh, it was Taylor, not Elon. So now you see that there are 2 conversation IDs, one with Elon and one with admin. That's it for today. I hope it was a great event for you guys. Have a nice day.